you all can give another round of applause for God and all that he's doing for us. Invitees, dignitaries, participants of the Justice for San Diego 33 rally and prayer vigil. Ladies and gentlemen, at the very outset, on behalf of Brandon Duncan and Aaron Harvey, I extend greetings to all of you and a warm welcome to guests and friends who have come to the Justice for San Diego 33 prayer and rally. I want to thank God for hearing our prayers at the last rally and prayer vigil and touching the heart of Judge Honorn to drop the charges against Brandon Duncan and Aaron Harvey and some of the other young men who were unfairly charged with the Penal Code 182.5. Our goal is as pertinent today as it was then. It is our goal. I know it is a goal I know that we all share. I want to thank Brandon Duncan and Aaron Harvey for organizing this event and keeping us mindful that the fight against PC 182.5 is not over until every person unjustly charged, convicted, and incarcerated sees their charges or convictions against them dropped, and each of them being released from prison and jail. So today, prepare yourself to be challenged, excited, and inspired. I want to say once more on behalf of the Justice for San Diego 33 rally and prayer vigil, welcome. It's a pleasure to see so many of you here. In the book of Micah, chapter 6 and verse number 8, it reads like this from the World English Bible. He has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does Yahweh require of you, but to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. We are gathering here today because laws are being unfairly used to judge and punish people of color in the black and brown community, especially black people. The 33 young men locked up last year under the gang conspiracy law, specifically Penal Code 182.5, is an example of this unjust system. The gang conspiracy law causes a great deal of solicitude regarding true justice and should be revisited and removed as an ideal of fighting gang crimes within California. The law is basically wrong inasmuch as law enforcement agencies unfairly apply the law to the black community and other people of color. The Public Policy Institute of California said, and I quote this, "In California, African American men are dramatically more likely to be in prison than are other groups. Among adult men in 2013, African American men were incarcerated at a rate of 4,367 per 100,000, compared to 922 for Latinos, 488 for non-Latino whites, and 34 for Asians." I agree with David Kennedy when he said, and I quote, "While nobody with any sense would deny the reality of racism, it is increasingly clear that people and institutions can act in ways that look, smell, and taste like racism, play into narratives and understandings framed by racism, and produce results that might just as well have been produced by racism, all without actually being racist," unquote. However, I must also agree with Richard Cunningham Peterson when he spoke regarding passing the duck test. And I quote what he says here, and it says, "Suppose you see a bird walking around in a farmyard. The bird has no label that says duck, but the bird certainly looks like a duck. Also, he goes to the pond and you notice that he swims like a duck. Then he opens his beak and quacks like a duck. Well, by this time you have probably reached the conclusion that the bird is a duck, whether he's wearing a label or not. unquote. While I am not in the business of calling anyone or anything racist, the biggest crime in the U.S. criminal justice system is that it is race-based institution, excuse me for a moment, where African Americans are directly targeted and punished in a much more aggressive way than other racial groups. Let's keep in mind that San Diego is ranked #2 as the safest city among large cities and ranked #1 with the lowest homicides among the large cities. And according to Cal Gangs, has one of the lowest gang memberships out of the 10 geographical regions. Yet, last year, there were 6 RICO indictments on gangs in San Diego. One was an Asian gang, and 5 of these gangs were black. Therefore, we are here today to pray, because the prayers of a righteous man is powerful and effective. We have also rallied together today to speak to the powers that be, just like Moses spoke to Pharaoh and said in Exodus 5:1, and I quote from the World English Bible, "This is what Yahweh, the God of Israel, says, let my people go." Our city, county, state, and nation are locking up too many people up. America has 5% of the world's population, but 25% of its prisoners are in prison. The human cost has been far too much, which has resulted in a breakdown in the home, where too many fathers are sent to prison, unable to rebuild their lives when they get out. Mass incarceration has left many of our black women without enough men around to marry and build a life with. It has left many of our children without fathers to be there to love and nurture them. Since 1970, when a war was declared on drugs, arrests has skyrocketed. Blacks are arrested for drug offenses at a rate 2 to 11 times higher.